What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. The Modern Warfare 2 beta has concluded, and now it's time for us to provide Infinity Ward with some feedback. You know, that whole purpose of a beta. Provide them with feedback so they can make changes so the game can be better down the road. Now, part of the issue I have with this in general is the fact that I feel the beta is too close to the actual launch of the game. We don't have months before this game launches. We have weeks. And frankly, some of the problems I have with this game, yeah, those don't get fixed in weeks. Sorry, it's just not what happens. And that's why I feel that we're seeing a lot of doubling down from Infinity Ward devs right now, because a lot of the feedback, I think, now I don't know, I don't develop games, will take longer than a few weeks to implement and to actually make it into the game. So I think they're trying to mitigate the community's expectations a bit more and not say, yeah, we'll fix the footsteps, yeah, we'll fix the minimap, yeah, we'll fix the muzzle flash on the guns. I feel like a lot of this is going to take more time than what they are really, than they more or less have before the game goes live in late October. So realistically, they're looking at this more of a, what bugs do we need to fix? What minor changes can we make before the game launches? What little bit more work can we do so this game has a smooth launch? I feel that these Call of Duty betas have more or less been testing out their servers and making sure there's no major bugs for when the game goes live later on that year. If this was a true beta, I feel we would have gotten our hands on it a few months sooner, which would have led to them actually being able to fix some of the problems that we've mentioned. And because of this tight turnaround between the beta and when the game launches, I fear that some of the issues that the community has brought up, those won't be fixed until early 2023 or spring of 2023, which would mean like March or April of next year. And the reason why I say that is we've got a month till the game goes live. Then they've got a few hot fixes that they've got to do in November. Then guess what? It's Christmas time. It's vacation time. It's the same thing that happened to Vanguard last year. The same thing that hurt Halo last year. These devs have to go on vacation. And yeah, they're allowed to have that. But you need to have a plan for that in place. You need to know that there's still got to be people working on the game to make it better. But unfortunately, we're just going to have no communication from the devs for most of December. And then guess what? Now they can work on all the feedback that they've received for November and December, and it's going to take them 3 to 4 months to implement it into the game. I know that sounds doom and gloom. I know that sounds negative, but that's how I feel. Because if I look back at the track record of Call of Duty over the last few years, that's been how it is. The game has all these flaws when it launches, and we know their flaws when the game is in beta, quote unquote, and they don't get fixed until February or March. Look at what Cold War is today versus what it was at launch. It is a more complete game. It is a lot more fun of a game. And hey, guess what? It's actually not that bad. I know people like to shit on it, but frankly, when I play Cold War, I have a lot more fun than I've had with Vanguard, with Modern Warfare 2019, the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and Black Ops 4. And I know that's blasphemy because people love Black Ops 4, but personally, that game wasn't for me. Now, what does Modern Warfare 2 have to fix? Well, I'm going to say most of the same things you've heard already. The footsteps are too loud. They've completely made a playstyle unviable in this game. Do you think it's going to be fun watching pros playing Search and Destroy where all they're doing for the entirety of the match is waiting for their dead silence to hit so that they can finally move around the map? Do you think that's going to be fun to watch? No, it's not. It's not going to be acceptable to watch either. It's going to be downright boring. And frankly, the game in its current state is going to be downright boring to watch. Because I'll tell you what, I watched a few people, I've watched some gameplay. It's not a very exciting game to watch. You can go back and watch Modern Warfare 2 commentaries from way back in 2009 and 2010. Those are fun gameplays to watch. Because guess what? You could play a variety of ways. I know that he's a bit of a meme now. I know that he is. But Wings of Redemption changed the game with his camping style. Only Use Me Blade ran around with just knifing people. Those were fun ways to play the game. There were different ways to play the game. You cannot play that way in Modern Warfare 2. They don't want you to play that way. You have to enter every single game as tactically as possible, which is problematic because now the games become boring, mundane, and predictable, instead of the past games where they were fun, exciting, and chaotic. And that's the big thing that's missing here in Modern Warfare 2, is there's no chaos, there's no unpredictability outside of the spawn system. It's just mundane, boring, the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, I have to look in this window. Oh, I have to sit behind a head glitch because if I run, I'm gonna die. And that is not, pardon me, Call of Duty. That is not what I grew up on. That is not what I've been playing for the last 15 years. And that is why I'm so frustrated here when it comes to something as simple as making dead silence a perk and making the footsteps less loud. It just feels like a no-brainer. And other decisions they made, whether it's the red dots on the minimap, the name bars over top of enemy players, these should be basic things that every Call of Duty should have, because guess what? Other first-person shooters have them. Your entire franchise has them for every other game. These are not quote-unquote innovations. These are not quote-unquote ambitious. They are dumb changes for the sake of making dumb changes. And while we're on that point, let's talk about the perk system. Talk about dumb changes for the sake of making dumb changes. And you know what? Infinity Ward are the kings of this. Whether it was the Ghost perk system or the changes they made in Infinite Warfare, just that game in general sucked. The tactical sprint and the door warfare that they added in Modern Warfare 2019. They love to make changes that make no sense just for the sake of making changes, so that they can say their marketing jargon and their corporate speak of ambitious and innovative. We don't care. Honestly, we don't care. And no, I don't want the same Call of Duty game year after year after year. I want some variety. Like, if I look back to the games that were quote-unquote the same between Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, there's a lot of innovation there. There's a lot of change that happened in those 4 years. If I look back to 2019 Modern Warfare and 2022 Modern Warfare 2, there's not a ton of innovation. If anything, they've regressed. They've gone backwards. They've done everything they can to make the user experience worse. I'm not saying the map design is worse than Modern Warfare 2019. Actually, in fact, it's better than Modern Warfare 2019. But frankly, being better than an 0-16 team isn't something you should be proud of here. Those maps were bottom of the barrel. These maps are at least fine, I guess. They're okay. They're nowhere near as good as Modern Warfare 2's maps from 2009. The worst map in that game, Underpass, is better than the 3 maps we got here in the beta, or 4 maps or whatever. So realistically, this game is in trouble right now. And I didn't even get to my biggest faux pas that this game has, and the thing that's going to require the most work, which is their UI. Their user interface is abysmal. When you log into the game, you're not met with a start screen. No. You're not met with, hey, play the game. No. You're met with an ad for the store right away. And I get it. I'm a business student. I graduated business school. I know how you can increase sales, and that is a definite way to increase sales. Make it so the first thing people see is your store. Yep. But from a user playability standpoint, from a quality of life standpoint of a player, it is a fucking nightmare. Yes, do I think that businesses need to make money? Of course. But I am against ads on consoles I purchase, TVs I purchase, and games I purchase. If I want to go to your store, I'll go to your store. If I want to see an ad, I can opt in or out of those. The first thing I should not see when I log into your video game is an ad for your store. I'm sorry, not gonna happen. Especially when I've just paid $100 for this game. The second thing I should see is not a trending tab on your favorite game modes. Sorry, this isn't social media. I'm not interacting with these things you want me to interact with. I am not an algorithm, I am a player. I want an experience that is easy, simple, and quick. And I'll tell you this, the UI in Modern Warfare 2 sure ain't quick. And it sure is meant to be confusing and sure is meant to point you in the direction that Call of Duty wants you to be pointed in. They want you to be playing those featured game modes because guess what? Their algorithms say that those are the game modes that are going to keep you playing longer because they're going to be, what? The game modes with more players in them, the game modes with longer match times, and you're not going to quit those matches, right? So you're going to play for 20, 30 minutes a match, which is going to extend your play times. And that's all they care about. They don't really care if you spend money because they'll be their whales that spend money. They'll be the YouTubers that spend money. They'll be the kids that have their parents' credit card that spend money. All they want is those playability numbers so they can tout those to the shareholders so that they can get bigger bonuses. So everything in this game, whether it's their bogged down UI, their game modes that for the most part are fine but more Battlefield-esque than anything else, are meant not to be good, but to keep you playing longer. And that's the problem with Modern Warfare 2, and that's my main issue. All of the changes, I feel like, are not meant to increase quality of life for the players, isn't to make a good game, is to make a game that is able to provide the right analytics for their shareholders. And that is why this game is going to fail, and that is why I have a very hard time right now buying this game. So yeah, my feedback on Modern Warfare 2's beta is negative. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Because the game that I grew up playing, the game that I have put and poured so many hours into, is in shambles. The franchise that I thought people cared about don't seem to care about it. Hell, I have never been this invested in a video game community ever in my entire life. I cared about the Vanguard Call of Duty League, even though I hated that game, and I think I played 12 hours of it, because I care about this franchise. It's just really too bad the developers don't as well. And frankly, if they don't listen to the community on some of this stuff, and it doesn't need to be everything, if it's just footsteps, and if it's just the minimap and the names, I can live with some of that. I think I would come back and play it if it was those things. But other than that, if they don't make any changes and they don't make this game any better, it's going to be a boring year for Call of Duty. And it's going to be boring to watch Call of Duty League. And they're going to slowly watch themselves bleed more players out of their own franchise. Simple as that. So I want to hear your own feedback of the Call of Duty beta down below in the comment section. But outside of that, guys, what were your favorite features or innovations that the Call of Duty franchise ever made in your entire tenure of playing? For me, I think the best innovations this franchise ever made were the customizable kill streaks in Modern Warfare 2 and the Pick 10 system in Black Ops 2. But I'd love to hear your suggestions down below in the comments section. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.